Good morning. This is KELOLAND On the Go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
A New York man was sentenced to 30 years in federal prison for producing child pornography involving a South Dakota minor. 39-year-old Timothy Myers will serve this sentence along with a 20-year federal sentence he received in New York in 2020.
According to the U.S. Attorney's Office in South Dakota, between July 4th of 2016 and July 2nd of 2017, Myers impersonated a teenage male on Facebook and contacted a teenage girl in South Dakota. Myers persuaded the girl to send sexually explicit photos to him. He then threatened to publicly expose those photos unless she would send more of them. A former state employee accused of stealing nearly $2 million from South Dakota's Department of Social Services is getting ready for her first court appearance.
Lana Carroll is scheduled to appear this afternoon in the Hughes County Courthouse in Pierre. Carroll is charged with 2 felony counts of aggravated grand theft. She's been extradited from Iowa, where she was arrested. The majority of arrests at last year's Sturgis motorcycle rally centered around drugs and alcohol.
There were 66 DUIs, 36 felony drug charges, and hundreds of other citations and arrests. The Sturgis rally is the busiest time of the year for South Dakota law enforcement. Attorney General Marty Jackley says task forces made up of federal, state, and local law enforcement play a big role during the rally.
Always be drug task forces. I mean, there's an influx of fentanyl and methamphetamine that's coming from the southern border. We know that. So we will have a stepped up presence with our drug units. We have a very active Internet Crimes Against Children task force that's made up of federal, state, local authorities. We always try to have that presence where they're protecting kids. And then there'll just be law enforcement available for things and issues that come up.
The rally begins August 2nd and runs through the 11th. Now let's get a check of today's forecast with meteorologist Scott Munt. Hot, especially out west, Scott.
Oh, temperatures in the triple digits again across western South Dakota for this afternoon. Forecasting 105 in Rapid City, 80s, 90s today in central and eastern KELOLAND. This all happened with hazy sunshine due to wildfire smoke coming in from the west. We'll have an increasing southeasterly wind in central and parts of northern KELOLAND for today at around 15 to 30 miles per hour. Brian will have more details on your forecast coming up.
Thanks, Scott. A second case of West Nile virus has been confirmed in the state this year, this time in Kingsbury County. The first case of West Nile was reported in Beadle County on July 11th.
The South Dakota Department of Health predicts 73 cases in South Dakota for 2024. As of July 23rd, there have been 7 counties in South Dakota with positive mosquito pools, including Brookings, Brown, Lincoln, and Minnehaha County. Sioux Falls streets are in very good condition overall.
That's according to a survey from a consultant. Roadway Asset Services gave the city's road network a score of 73 out of 100. That's on the higher end of the national average.
In the past few years, we've had an incredible amount of development, and we kind of attribute some of that to an increase in score.
This study is one of the tools the city uses to determine future road improvements.
Sewage backup in the southern part of Canton is leaving some residents with several feet of sewage in their homes.
Canton Mayor Sandy Lundstrom says a $5 million project will hopefully stop the issue from happening again. Many homeowners say this problem has been ongoing.
There's a lot of people on this Pleasant Street that have had the basements with 4 foot of sewage in them. 2 or 3 times. It's gone on. We've spent all the money and concentrated all the effort in this community on a swimming pool.
The mayor says she's unsure of how long the ongoing project will take. That's a look at some of our top stories today.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, our weather update today. Couple headlines. We have some patchy fog this morning in the far southeast here. Yankton included with the dense fog advisory through 9 a.m. Bigger headline is the fire weather threat today in western South Dakota. That does include the Black Hills. As you can see, the area is shaded in pink. Low humidity, stronger winds, and temperatures into the 100s. That all adds up to that. Also, a lot of smoke and haze in the skyline. Look at all these fires going on. They've been erupting from Northern California all the way into southern Canada. In addition to that, there's been ongoing fires in northern Canada. So, kind of get used to this idea of smoky skies. I think we're going to have to deal with more of that as we go down the line in the forecast. But in the short term, it definitely is a part of the weather today. And Scott will have more on that story a little later today on KELOLAND News. In the meantime, we've got a warm front there. That separates the 80s around Sioux Falls as opposed to the 100s in Rapid City. Any rain coming? Well, as of right now, not really. It looks like any chances probably waiting until the weekend. If you're in western South Dakota tomorrow, this initial cold front could spark some thunderstorms, but they're probably limited on moisture. So our concern there would probably be more dry lightning than anything else. And then you get into the Saturday night forecast. I do think this wind eventually will prime the atmosphere for at least a couple thunderstorm chances. And then let's see if we can gather some more evidence behind scattered thunderstorms on Sunday. Probably more of an evening or an overnight scenario there is the most likely possibility, at least at this point. But if you're looking for rain in between this hot weather, that's probably one of your better chances in the forecast. The hourly numbers today, look at Buffalo, the Northwest, 106 there by 4. We're getting some of the guidance as high as 107 today. Mid to upper 80s in northwestern Iowa. So it's still warm there, but not nearly as hot. And then those high base thunderstorms in Wyoming and Montana. Most of that will hold off tonight, but I think tomorrow some of that could slip into western South Dakota. So consider that as well. 99 today in Winter, 95 degrees in Chamberlain. Here's a look at your extended forecast. We're still in the low 90s into early next week. That 20% chance of rain on Monday. There could be some more rain possible by the end of the 7-day forecast, but still a long ways out there, so we'll just continue to watch that. 90s are likely in Aberdeen for several days, 96 tomorrow, 94 on Saturday. Maybe these thunderstorms knock our highs down on Sunday, and we'll, again, watch that possibility. But when you're in a hot stretch of weather, a little rain from time to time really doesn't hurt, does it? We've got 98 on Saturday's forecast in Pierre. Still in the 90s early next week. In Rapid City, maybe not in the hundreds, but it's close. They're on Saturday at 98 and low to mid-90s Sunday and Monday. And again, these scattered thunderstorms are possible. Check out more details with the weather at KELOLAND.com.